This video is brought to you by 86. Pick up video game apparel from Skullgirls and Monster Hunter World. 86.com slash question mark AFF equals 4 and let them know that we sent you. Hello everybody, I am in the light, I am in the dark because my computer was moved. So I have to figure this out later on. But welcome to another episode of Mission Star Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Bianis. And the videos have been coming up a bit more slowly as of late. At least it's been one video per week. Bear with me with my with the changes going on over in my real life, but definitely, I'm going to try to make more of an effort to put more video content on the throughout the week. But bear in mind, that might be a lot more slower than usual. But with that being said, XO19 just did happen last Thursday, by the time it's recording. And Microsoft put out basically, I don't want to say a press conference, but just basically saying, hey, these are the things that are coming next for Xbox. And I'll actually slide in that transition right here. So before I get into it, let me go ahead and read this article written by, let me see if I get the author here for a second. It is written by Asher Maiden from WindowsCentral.com. XO19, everything Xbox announced in London. Every year, Microsoft hosts a celebration of gaming for fans in various regions. This year, XO19 brought plenty of surprises, like the Yakuza series coming to Xbox One and much more. The show from London was packed with a number of stellar reveals, like new games from Rare and Obsidian Entertainment. You can read all about the major announcements below, which he has defined down here. So first off, we have Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. That is coming to Xbox Game Pass for PC. And that is the game that a lot of people, including myself, really got into when I was released. Follow up to gameplay footage of Age of Empires 4 that is in the work and it's being developed. Then followed up with the Artful Escape, which is a new trailer. Do not think there was a release date for it, but it's a very trippy game. It seems like you're a guitar player that's going through various worlds, which is also skateboarding at the same time. Yeah, like it's a weird game from what I've seen so far. Follow up with Bleeding Edge. Bleeding Edge is a new multiplayer game from Hellblade Son. I'm gonna butcher his name. It's from Hellblade. It's one of Sacrifice creators. Is coming to Xbox One and PC in March 2020. The closed beta begins February 2020, so you can test that before you decide to buy it. Crossfire X is an incredibly popular PC shooter, and a few months ago it was announced that the game is coming to Xbox One. Today we got a long-awaited gameplay trailer. And did you know that Remedy Entertainment is writing a story for the game? Which I did not know until I read that very statement. So that's going to be interesting, huh? Crossfire looks like another, I want to say not Counter-Strike, but it kind of much, at least in modern times, it reminds me much more of a Siege in a way. So that's coming to Xbox. Drake Hollow is Xbox One, which is a cartoonish 4-player co-op game. Follow up with the first trailer you just saw behind me, Everwild, as Rare's new IP. Rare made a new IP. It is interesting to say the least. It looks like from the outset is a game where you explore an open world type of deal. In the nature of this fantasy land. It's interesting. Like, it's another game from Rare, and I'm just see how this goes out, because people were not really with Sea of Thieves. Like, there were ideas in place for Sea of Thieves, and the content wasn't there. Now it does, but it took them a while. So I'm kind of wondering what Rare's approach is going to be for this next game. Flight Simulator. Just Flight Simulator. Nothing attached to it. So that's coming out. Which, people who like airplanes, looks really good. something they're really into. Grounded. This is Obsidian's new game. So today Obsidian revealed the latest game, Grounded. The new franchise, slated for 2020, melds first-person co-op survival with a narrative-driven edge. It's being created by a small team at the company and has been in development since before the acquisition by Microsoft. It's coming to Xbox Game Preview in spring 2020. Grounded, it's basically survival, but you're shrunken down. Think of it this way. It's a survival-based game, and you're super small. Like I'm gonna say you got shrunk. Well, actually, you probably did. It's pretty much Honey that I Shrunk the Kids, the game, basically. And the tools you use to survive are things that you would see on the ground, like matches, grass, wood sticks, and so on. So hey, why not? Obsidian made a really damn good game with Outer Worlds, so hey, let's see how they do with this next one. Halo Reach is coming to Xbox Game Pass and PC on December 3rd. It is the first of the 5 games, I want to say, in the Microsoft Halo Master Chief Collection, which is cool. I'm a big fan of Halo. I intend to play each game all the way through again, just because I have very much my young teenage life was around Halo. So I played every one except for ODST and Halo 5. ODST is involved in this pack, so I'm pretty excited about. Halo 5 is not. It's also a really bad game from what I've heard. So for those who are wanting to play the Master Chief Collection, the first game of the series will be coming on the on PC and on Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass. And yeah, I think the way they're approaching it this time around, I think because last time we had the Master Chief Collection came out, horrible. It did not come out great. The launch was bad. This was ridden with errors and bugs, and it was a crap show essentially. So it was not working at all, and it kind of, for some people's eyes, tarnished Master Chief and the Halo legacy. So 343 Industries is making sure that, hey, if we're going to put it out again on PC, like, we're going to do it properly. So yeah, they're taking their time, one more time with this time around than last time, so which is good, which is very good. Then is ID at Xbox, which is a slew of indie games. A lot of them look pretty good. And I believe like Microsoft is hoping to. Here's the thing about Microsoft and indie games. They've been a huge supporter of indie games, and I want to say even more so ever since the success of Cuphead. So now they're like, oh, there's a lot of cool games on here. And some of these games we already seen before. There are showcased elsewhere, but with Microsoft, they definitely were showing some pretty cool games. Some of which was including Streets of Rage 4, which looks fantastic. And then you have games like, I'm actually looking at, you got Luna Knights, which is a kind of, looks like a side-scroller 2D action game. Another game, Chris Tales, Double Kick Heroes, which are in a car, Heaven. And there's a slew of other games, definitely. Ooh, and then Cyber Shadow. That looks dope. Cyber Shadow actually looks really cool. It's a really awesome game from the looks of it. But yeah, like it is definitely, like, Microsoft is making sure that they're supporting their devs, their first party, third party, as well as the indies as well. So definitely there's some cool games in there. I suggest you guys check it out. There's some really cool stuff that they showcase during the ID Xbox Game Pass, or ID at Xbox sizzle reel. Follow up with Kart Driver Drift. I have not heard of this game, but apparently it's huge in Korea. It's huge. And they're bringing it over to Xbox and PC. And then it will have cross-play features and other stuff they're planning to bring as well. Yeah, it's a kart racing game. Cartoon kart racing game. So take it for for what it's worth. That's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Will it become big here? I don't think so. But, hey, stranger things have happened. Then follow up with Kingdom Hearts. Not 3. Wait, is 3 on... Actually, no, take it back. I think 3 is on Xbox, if I'm mistaken. But the previous Kingdom Hearts games are coming to Xbox One. So you can play all the Kingdom Hearts games if you want to, right up to 3, and then play 3, and then tell us how you like it. But yes, that is another game that's coming. Next was the game called Last Stop, which was another of this. I think this is from the guys who made. Let me see. Change the developer, variable state. Okay. I could have sworn these are the same guys who made Stranger Things, but they didn't. So, Last Stop is another. It looks like a detective. From the looks of it looks like a detective. You're kind of going back through time and you're trying to figure out what is going on, why you're kind of transferred into another person's body, and then you somehow run into a spirit. It's interesting. It's an interesting concept. So, as another game is coming to Xbox and PC. And then it showed up Minecraft Dungeons, which was a basically it was oops, sorry. I have the video over here. Basically, from what I could see, it's Minecraft, but it's Gauntlet with Minecraft characters essentially. I first when I first saw it, that was Minecraft Diablo, but no, it's actually more like Minecraft Gauntlet. So you get your different classes, you get different characters you can choose from, and you're just kind of going through a dungeon crawler, fighting other enemies within Minecraft. Which I'm curious about. I may not try it. Depends. It depends, but we'll see. Then that was Minecraft from Earth at XO19. The company reveals the mobs of the park event. If you're in New York City, London City, it would be exciting to know a life-size statues of interactive mobs will be popping up on November 16th. Which, hey, for those who don't know, Minecraft Earth is basically think of Pokemon Go but with Minecraft, essentially. But you're building stuff too at the same time, so much more that AR type of game. Planet Coaster, surprise news. Microsoft said the Planet Coaster, the incredibly popular PC game, is coming to Xbox One. So, people who like to build theme parks, huzzah! And then one of the big ones I want to point out, Project xCloud. And this is from the article. With Google Stadia around the corner, Microsoft had to make a splash with Project xCloud game streaming XO19. The company did exactly that at the event. It was announced that more than 50 games from 25 partners are being added to the service. You may now play Devil May Cry 5, Madden, NFL 20, and even Tekken 7 on the go. Since Project xCloud launched in October, Microsoft's focus has been on Android phones. However, that's going to change in 2020, the company said. Next year, we'll bring Project xCloud to Windows 10 and are collaborating with a broad set of partners to make the game streaming available on other devices as well. This may include iOS. Given the fact that there's a lot of controllers on the market now, Microsoft plans to support more Bluetooth devices like Sony's DualShock 4 and accessories from Razer. While Stadia is launching with 12 titles, Microsoft says that over 3,500 games on Xbox One today and 1,900 games currently in development are already working on Project xCloud. And it's planned to expand to more countries in 2020 and add more games, including the big one here is that not only are they adding more games to it, but they're going to make sure that when this thing launches, I believe it's also going to be in the beta, but you can actually play what's in your library in the Xbox Game Cloud. That's huge. That is huge. And now I'm going to stay here for a second. So last time I talked about xCloud or streaming or Stadia, we've talked about what Stadia was doing and what they announced, and at this moment there were actually more features that were announced not to be available for launch for Stadia. So already Stadia is looking like it's DOA on arrival. If there was any opposite, or if there's any way to do a streaming service that is more proper in that line of thinking that Google is trying to do, Microsoft is a perfect example. They're saying that their xCloud is going to is in beta. They're testing out the kinks. They're allowing people to come in to be part of the beta if they want to and have a slew of games. Not to mention, as I said as well back on this podcast, that Microsoft's library is much bigger than Google's and has already set up an ecosystem to where if you have Game Pass, especially with this announcement that it will eventually include your games that you have on your list or on your playlist of what you want to play, it will bring those up and you can play them on the go. I still think that obviously streaming services, I am not quite sure I'm not quite sure how this will be in the US, just because of, again, we have data caps, and with data caps we only limit a terabyte a month if you're with say Comcast or any other provider. So it's going to be very hard to justify, hey, do I really want to stream this game on my data or on the internet, depending on how high of a quality it's going to be. The technology, it could work. They're saying so far that the technology works and it's good, but it just comes to the internet infrastructure, and that's going to be the huge question here. Again, I think that if you were outside the US, this will work perfectly. I think Google Stadia has more legs outside the US, as well as Project xCloud, than in the US, because we have data caps that are restraining us. So that is a problem that the US market has to face, and we'll see how this goes. Exactly how much they require, it's all going to depend. Like, I'm very curious. I think if out of the two right now announced currently, I am more in favor of Project xCloud than I am with Stadia, just because it's Microsoft. We know what they're bringing to the table. We know what games they're going to bring and eventually bring. They have a Game Pass, which is, they're just killing it right now. A bunch of games, and not to mention a lot more announced at this XO19 event. And not to mention they're supporting more Bluetooth devices like the Sony's DualShock 4. They are definitely, if I were to pick one or the other, it's going to be Microsoft, hands down. No question about it. So we'll see how this goes. But I think right now, Project xCloud and Microsoft look 20 times better than Google Stadia right now. And Google Stadia, with the announcements they made recently, that not some of their features that they initially announced was coming at launch, and other issues, they don't look good right now. They may be DOA off before even the launch happens. We'll see, but that's, yeah. Rust is coming to Xbox One. Hey, Rust is a weird game. If you like open world and survival and make your own tribes and all that good stuff, hey, more power to you. But it is coming to Xbox One. See, they showed off their new expansion for Sea of Thieves, the Seabound Soul reveal. The Sea of Thieves next update will arrive on November 20th and include a short Telltale campaign called the Seabound Soul. Firebombs will also be added to the game for even more deadlier combat. And the first thing that actually showed off in the trailer was Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order live action, just to kind of promote that this game's out on all consoles. Buy it on ours. From what I've seen so far of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, it actually looks pretty cool. It's what I've been hearing is basically, think of Uncharted with Star Wars. Basically that. So, and I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about the game, and not to mention it's just getting reviews 9s and 10s and 8s across the board. So it's getting really good reviewed. Wasteland 3, the guys who made the other Wastelands, former Fallout devs, put out a new trailer for XO19, and it is coming in May 2020. So for those who like the Wasteland kind of Fallout type of games, and here's another one for you. West of Dead, which from the looks of it looked like a bullet twin stick shooter, but the key is, like, the main character is being voiced by Ron Perlman, which is cool. I love Ron. So yeah, like he's gonna be voicing the main character. Waste of Dead is like, from the looks of it, looks like from a twin stick shooter. You're taking cover, you're shooting other enemies, but the thing is, though, your character is already dead and it's a flaming skull. Think of like a Western Ghost Rider, essentially. So yeah, it's no date on it yet. I'm gonna check real quick. Actually, I'm just gonna go to the bomb. Let's see. Okay. Oh, you play the beta right now. Okay, so no release date. So nothing yet. And then let's see what else I can see in this article. Oh yeah, the list of games are coming to Xbox Game Pass. So more than 50 new games coming to Xbox Game Pass were announced at XO19. Titles like Remnant from the Ashes and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt are the most prominent, but later in 2020, select games from the Yakuza franchise will be joining the service on Xbox One and PC. Aside from numerous Final Fantasy games coming to Xbox Game Pass, the Yakuza drop will probably be the most memorable. You haven't tried Xbox Game Pass Ultimate yet? You can get your first 3 months for $1 for a limited time. All eligible Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members get a month of each access, 3 months of Discord Nitro, and 6 months of Spotify Premium included with their subscription. So that was all the announcements out of XO19. I think one of the things they made sure to get in front of is like, no, there will be no information regarding Project Scarlet. Because that focus for this XO19 event was the games and what's coming to Game Pass. As overall, like it's a strong showing again from Microsoft. Microsoft is again showing and supporting Xbox Game Pass, showing third parties what's coming to the service. What can you expect in the next year and a half? The cloud service they're working on is still in beta, but from the sounds of things, it sounds very promising. It's right now Microsoft. Honestly, from everything I've seen so far, from this entire generation, this is where Microsoft first fucked up at the Xbox One reveal, and since then, and I keep saying this again, but like, history be damned, like because of what Don Matrick did, and screwing the pooch on all of it, like Phil Harrison and just turned around, not just him, but like Microsoft really turned around that narrative that they initially had for Microsoft, and they really just turned a 180 and basically made Microsoft a much more prominent name within the gaming space than it was before. They're playing their cards right. I think they got a lot of hands on a lot of things. And if all of them work, if Game Pass is already a success, if it gets a bigger success in the next generation, if the cloud system works and it's great and it's affordable, and it's another avenue for them. Not to mention, if Project Scarlet becomes another success for them, that another option for another console, Microsoft is definitely setting themselves up to possibly be the king yet again in these next generation. While Sony, I have not heard much. The only thing I've heard from Sony is that they're gonna have their console launch, or not launch, but like their console reveal in February of next year. And we'll go into deeper detail regarding that and what games are planning to come to it and so on. So I'm curious to see what Sony does, but this entire generation has just been Microsoft getting ready, doing the right things, and getting ready for the next generation, because they kind of pretty much lost it the minute they messed up that press conference way back then. And since then, Sony has won this generation. It was like 3-1 of a console being made from PS4 to the Xbox. So Microsoft is ready. They have been arming themselves, ready to go for 2020. 2020 is going to be a hell of a year, guys. It's going to be a hell of a year. But again, Microsoft going out there and just kind of catering to their audience, but also showcasing new stuff coming. That, yes, we're supporting this platform. We're supporting the games that are coming to Game Pass. And look at these other games and these other people that we've acquired over the years. Especially Rare. Like, for the longest time, outside of Killer Instinct is a Rare property, but they didn't work on it. But like outside of Sea of Thieves, we won't know what else they're making. But hey, Microsoft's keeping them busy. They got a new game called Everwild that they're working on. It's insane. It's pretty crazy. Like, we'll see what happens. But man, Microsoft is hitting it out of the park, and we'll see how 2020 is going to be. If I were to guess, honestly, right now, and you can mark it 11/17/2019 on this podcast, on this video, on YouTube. More than likely, my guess is that Microsoft is going to be the one. Yeah, I'll go for it. Microsoft will be the ones on top. Will be the most dominant services on the internet. And I think that Sony is going to take a step back with the PS5, and the Switch is going to overtake Sony and maybe Microsoft, depending on what happens in terms of like how many consoles are being sold. And then yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I believe Microsoft is just armed at the teeth to take 2020, to take the next generation of consoles, and I think they're ready to do it. And I think they will. So we'll see how it goes. But XO19 was a great event. It was a lot better than last year, and they brought the games, they brought the stuff, and they are definitely just ready to fight. They're ready to take over this next generation. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. We'll have more videos throughout the week, or maybe if not, expect something more hopefully by next week. Yeah, pretty much that. So yeah, guys, until then, we'll see you guys next time.